Hey, my name is Destiny, and we're going to talk about phylogenetic trees. So, a phylogenetic tree is a diagram that represents evolutionary relationships among organisms. Phylogenetic trees are hypotheses, not definitive facts. The pattern of branching in a phylogenetic tree reflects how species or other groups evolved from a series of common ancestors. In trees, two species are more related if they have a more recent common ancestor and less related if they have a less recent common ancestor. So here we have my phylogenetic tree of writing utensils. I had the hardest time choosing items to include in my tree, but as I sat holding my stylus and accidentally dropped it, it hit me. Well, it hit the floor, but you get my dilemma. I choose everyday tools that I'm 99% positive everyone has used or at least knows of. I completed my operational taxonomic unit based on structure and usability against the more predictable similarities, such as, two pens being grouped just because they're pens. So let's begin with our rooted tree and work our way back to our most recent common ancestor, which is also our outgroup in this case, the stylus. I chose this as our outgroup due to the fact that our modern technological world has made it to where we can write without paper. Now, working our way back to the rest of the internal nodes, which hold our writing utensils that work on paper, we begin with markers, both permanent and non-permanent. This is also displaying our first example of colatogenesis, as the markers branched from our pens and were broken off into those permanent versus non-permanent statures. As we work further back, our evolutionary phylogenetic tree reached the calligraphy pen, which is more of an older utensil, but I feel still relevant. I actually own one myself, and I'm going to take a good guess and say I'm not the only one. And as we go a little further back past the anagenetic calligraphy pen, we reach the ballpoint pen and the mechanical pencil. I branched those together due to the spring mechanism located in both. And as we near the end and reach our next colatogenesis example, we have the number 2 pencil and the color pencil. I grouped these due to the more aged feel compared to the more complex stylus and mechanical pencil. These two reach another peak of change with the need of sharpening function. And finally, we finish up with the crayon, which I debated on being another outgroup, but I went back to my paper versus technology idea. As it isn't the most precise writing utensil, it's still possible to write with and even more fun to color with. These are my references.